That interview with Representative Stansbury is coming up in just about 10 minutes. Online right now, you can watch Laura's full conversation with Senator Heinrich. They touch on some other environmental bills as well as plans to bring nuclear waste to New Mexico. It's all up on YouTube. Just search Our Land, New Mexico. Now let's get back to the line to talk through something that's on the minds of every parent in the state, sending the kids back to school. We put the question out to our social media followers this week asking, what's at the top of mind for parents heading into school this year? Sadly, and understandably, many said security. Now, Jessica, is there any fear that students will be in the same mindset? I've always wondered about this.
You know, I think that the kids feed off of what their parents and the adults around them are thinking and feeling. So I think that if you go to any school in the state of New Mexico, elementary, middle, or high school, private or public, and you ask these kids, you know, what is your biggest thoughts on the upcoming year, you'll likely get the response that, hey, am I safe coming to school? I mean, they're not ignorant. They see the news, they see what's going on online. I'm sure that many, especially at the high school level, have that concern. You know, I had a conversation though with a parent just the other day about this very same topic, and it was striking to me that her response was like, you know, I don't want my kid's school to become a prison. I don't want it to be on lockdown with cameras and gates and fences and guards that are armed. But if that's what it takes to keep my kids safe, then that's the way that we should. Those are the measures we should take.
Wow. Anything local for you down there of note for security, particularly for schools, or?
Yeah, definitely. So we were watching Carlsbad Police Department with the Eddy County Sheriff's Office the other day conduct this really massive drill for active shooters at our high school. You know, and then naturally we started asking questions. Well, what are we doing this year that might be new or different to keep people safe? And a couple of different things of interest. They are, when I say lockdown, I really literally mean locking down schools. Gates are closed, doors are locked. You have to go through like 3 people before you can even get in a front door of one of our local schools here. Over in, you know, my hometown of Loving, if you're going to go pick up your kid, or if you're going to have somebody pick up your kid for you, you have to have a little thing on your windshield that says you're authorized to. In Alamogordo, kids are wearing IDs with all the pertinent information, just another measure to keep them safe. And of course, I think everybody here might have heard of what's happening over in Las Cruces, where parents are being asked to volunteer to basically be the eyes and ears on campus in situations where schools either don't have the personnel or don't have the funds to add that additional security. They're being proactive and saying, hey, you want to secure your school, you want to secure your kid, come help us do that.
Jess, I'm sorry, Jess was just speaking. Laura, sorry. Albuquerque Public Schools says it's been adding fencing, locks, camera systems, you know, more incident training for students and, you know, all this kind of thing. I'm interested in your take, just hearing what Jessica just mentioned about what this means for the environment of learning, so to speak.
Well, you know, we live in a completely different time, certainly than when any of us went to school. I'm making assumptions here, Jessica, but I mean, when I was growing up and I loved going to school. I couldn't even sleep the night before the first day of school because I was so excited about, you know, my new class and my classmates and just getting back into it. And, you know, being afraid for myself, physical safety, or being afraid of a shooter was just never even on, you know, possibility. It wasn't even in the realm of reality of something that I might be afraid of. And so we have students now that in the last few years have had to deal with so many changes, whether it's from, you know, COVID or reading about, you know, active shooters or a student bringing a gun to school and having an incident. So I think a lot of the, you know, unfortunately, we've had to deal with a lot of these incidents, and schools are reacting as best they can. So I think anxiety is at a fever pitch right now for students and teachers, as well as parents. I mean, I think everybody in the school environment, it creates a level of anxiety that is very different from anything we experienced when we were students.
That's right.
That being said, I appreciate what Jessica said, that, you know, students do tend to feed off of what parents or what adults are doing. It's important for all of us to kind of take a deep breath and have a little bit more, you know, a sense of, you know, of calm when we deal with some of this, and just be able to explain to students, you know, why these measures are being taken. It's for their own protection, for their own safety. The drills are important, all of that sort of thing. I think is an important thing to have a conversation about. It provides an opportunity to communicate with students about why it's important to take these measures seriously. And all of us, I think, can do our part to, I think, and you hear this all over, not just in the school context, but, public transportation, other places. If you see something, say something. And that's something that's really important that we all should be taking into consideration so that we can try to address things proactively instead of reacting to things.
Good point there. Hey, Dan, another big change will be, it's interesting to even say this out loud, a year without mask restrictions. Will this finally be a big step towards kids re-socializing in a healthier way and maybe helpful to get past all this other stuff we're talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, you hope so. I think, listening to everything that we're talking about and all the news stuff and what we're talking about, yet, we're not talking about the fact that 76% of fourth graders are not proficient in reading in New Mexico. 79% of eighth graders are not proficient in math in New Mexico. And so, how do we stop this consistent, perpetual problem in our education system? And I don't think we do that by saying, hey, we're going to tighten the campus. We're going to go through all these active shooter drills. We're going to make it harder for you to get on campus or bring cupcakes, or you got to wear a special tag. At the end of the day, 76% of fourth graders are not proficient in reading, and 79% of eighth graders are not proficient in math. I mean, you're destined to keep producing the same things over and over again. And I get frustrated that safety is clearly important. But if you look at the likelihood of a student in public school in New Mexico being involved in one of these situations, truly life-threatening situations, it's higher today than it was 20 years ago. I don't disagree with that. But I think which should we be focusing on? The fact that you can't read and can't do math, or the fact that we're building all these fences and doing all this additional security stuff, and at the end of the day, kids still can't read, kids still can't get math, kids still aren't graduating. We have kids dying at record rates. I mean, we're worse at teen deaths per 100,000. We're at 37 now at teen deaths per 100,000. We're up from 36%. So I mean, it's a horrible situation that I think all these other scenarios, we just kind of forget what's the root of a lot of the problems in our state, and that is the stuff that I just talked about.
Jessica, again,
not mutually exclusive. I just want to say,
Please.
keeping students safe and, having a high expectation in terms of teaching and learning, those are not mutually exclusive things. And I think that, the advantage, I appreciate that Jessica's on here, and actually Dan too, because, we can provide a perspective from other parts of the state. Smaller school districts have a real challenge, I think, in this situation, in this environment, because they have a shortage of teachers and other school personnel. I mean, it's just harder to find people in rural areas to, that are able to work in these schools. But then also, bigger school districts like APS have more resources. They just have more ability to get, not that they're sort of flush with money either, but they have more resources. They have more personnel who can do, be interchangeable in terms of their role. In smaller school districts, you're really, one person may be the principal, the administrator, the superintendent, that, provide
School bus driver,
school guidance, bus driver, whatever it is. And that means that those schools have a harder time, I think, with delivering the services that they're supposed to deliver.
Fair point.
Teaching and learning, and then also being able to address this school safety issue.
I appreciate the distinction. It is different for the smaller districts for sure. Thank you all for that discussion. Now, we'll be back in less than 15 minutes to talk politics as our Secretary of State defends the integrity of our election system in Congress. But first, a conversation with New Mexico Congresswoman Melanie Stansbury. At the end of July, 3 of her water bills passed through the U.S. House of Representatives for inclusion in a larger bill, the Wildfire Response and Drought Resiliency Act. Now, this week, she talked with Laura Paskus about what those 3 bills could mean for New Mexico.